I think for 30 years I should go.
Call the Fairmount Town Board meeting to order. Which joins for the pledge? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pick you up. You all right?
Yeah, I just had trouble getting on. My legs hurt.
All right, roll call, ma'am.
Armstrong. Present. Karen Poland.
Present.
Ken Poland.
Present.
Hedrick. Treon.
Present. All right, review the purchase orders for approval.
We have one purchase order. It's number 3478. And it is for MVH. And it's the installation of the, Ryan, what is that?
A bed shaker.
It's,
Oh, the bed
yes,
shaker, okay.
the bed shaker to go in line with the salt box. A total cost of $1,595. And that is coming from Clark Truck Equipment.
Excuse me.
What that amount? 1,000.
$1,595.
1,595.
A motion to go ahead and pass the PO 3478 for NVH at Clark Truck for the amount of $1,595.
Second.
We have a motion made by Angie, seconded by Karen to approve purchase order 3478. All those in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, the same? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, review the claims and order warrants drawn the same.
I motion we accept the reviews, claims and orders and warrants drawn on the same.
Second it.
Them there.
All right, motion made by Karen, seconded by Angie to approve the claims and orders warrants drawn the same. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, the same? All right, motion carries. Review the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll make a motion. We accept the minutes of the last meeting, May 12th.
I'll second it.
All right, motion made by Ken, seconded by Angie, to approve the May 12th, 2025 minutes. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, the same? Motion carries. Comments from citizens. Tyler Koffel from Baker Tilly.
My name is Tyler Koffel. Work for Baker Tilly under Jeff Rao. Been working with him for several years, and I've been the manager on the sewer project that the town has been working on. I'm going to go through a rate study with you guys today for a rate ordinance that's being introduced tonight, with the public hearing coming in here in a couple weeks. So you've got a report in front of you dated May 20th, 2025, Sewage Works rate study. So I'm going to start page 2. This is just looking at your fund balances compared to what you're required and recommended to have. So looking at the far left column, you're looking at your account balances as of the end of 2024. The middle column is the minimum balances required / recommended. The first 3 funds are required per your bond ordinance to have on hand at all times. The depreciation fund is where the recommended reserves come in. So your operation and maintenance fund, you have to have at least 2 months of operating expenses reserved in your operating fund at all times. As you can see, you had $38,000 in excess of that requirement. Your bond and interest account, you have to make transfers every month to build up to your semi-annual bond payment. Since you made the bond payment before the end of the year, you don't have a reserve requirement in there. Debt service reserve account, you have USDA bonds outstanding, so your reserve is required to be built up over 10 years. That will change with this SRF issuance, but your required reserve as of December 31st was $195,375. You had $213,000 in that account. There's probably interest income and other things like that that are in that fund. Depreciation fund, this is your recommended fund. This is not required per the bond ordinance. So we recommend that you have at least 1 year of average capital improvement spending saved in that fund. So we'll get to the capital plan in a minute, but your average annual capital improvement plan is $171,000 a year. At the end of 2024, you had $220,000. Construction fund and sewage planning fund, we've just assumed both of those are fully restricted for sewer projects. So as of the end of 2024, you had $111,000 in excess of required and recommended reserves. And obviously we've gone almost 5 months now since that, but you're also getting $53,000 of reimbursements for project costs that were paid for prior to the bans being issued. So on June 17th, when the bonds close, you'll get a $53,000 reimbursement for those costs. Any questions there? Okay. So pages 3 through 6 are your operating disbursements. I'm not going to go too deep into detail on these. What I want you to know is that your average annual spending the last 3 years has been around $430,000 on operating costs. We've made some adjustments to personnel costs at the top to reflect what we expect 2025 personnel costs to be. Chemical spending was down in 2024, so we made an adjustment to get it back up to what it was historically in 23 or 22 and 23. So we made a $7,300 adjustment to that. Contractual services was also low last year because you didn't have a rate study or an audit paid for last year. So we generally what we do is we amortize those costs over a 3-year period. So we made an adjustment of $8,100 to your contractual services budget. And then insurance, it's liability insurance based on premium information. So 2024 actual operating cost spending was $429,000. We have $40,000 in adjustments, taking you to $470,000 plus inflation, which takes you to $483,000. That's your expected spending in 2025. I will say that's probably conservative. That's generally how we do these things is inflation. We're kind of guessing how inflation is going to hit the utility. So the extra $13,000 that could go towards capital spending, as we'll get to in a little bit here, but that's the amount we're building into your operating costs for 25. Any questions on that page? Pages 4 through 6 are just the explanation of those adjustments. Page 7 is your capital improvement plan. This is the biggest driver for any utility when it comes to rate setting, because they're the biggest variable costs. You can plan for them as much as you want, but they do pop up and they get more expensive over a 5-year period, and then they go back down. So we talked with Kelly, we talked with Bud. The average annual capital improvement spending is $171,000. That's just adding up each year, dividing it by 5. I will note that the last time we did the rate study was around $98,000. So there has been some additional needs identified since then that are built into this plan. We'll get into some funding alternatives once we get to the revenue requirements. Anything stand out there? Anything you have questions on? Okay. So project sources and uses schedule, Brady, we'll get into this more in detail. But your base bid came in at $7,975,000. Pre-bid, that number was $8,521,000. So you did come in under budget on that line item or on your base bid. So what we did because SRF offered you 0% loan, we built in the excess or the bid amount that was less than the pre-bid amount. We built that into contingency so that you can do some additional projects after the base bid project is completed. If there's no extra projects to be completed, you can forego that money. You won't have to pay it off. But that money is being built into the $632,000 in contingency. So the funding structure's at the bottom. So in total, your project is $10,679,000. You've got a $2 million grant from SRF. The remainder of that is funded by the bonds, which are amortized at 0% over 35 years. It's a really good deal through SRF. We very rarely see 0% anymore. The $28,000 in cash, that is the interim interest on the bond anticipation note. That's $26,000. And then there's $2,000 you have to pay to Bank of New York for a trustee fee up front. Any questions on the funding package? So the next 2 pages, 9 and 10, that's your amortization schedule for the 2025 bonds. You can see them laid over the existing or outstanding bonds on page 11. You'll see that the payments increase after the 2014 bonds are paid off. SRF has allowed us to wrap wrap the 2025 bonds around your existing debt to lower your debt service payments, which in turn lowers your user rates. So if they didn't allow you to wrap that debt around, you would have had annual debt service payments on the 2025 bonds of about $247,000. So an additional $20,000 taken off. So you'll see in the bond year total, you've got level debt service of about $536,000 through July 1st, 2059. Generally, SRF, when you wrap debt, has a 30 basis point penalty. They've also decided to waive that as well. So another good piece of good news for the town. So page 12 is where this all comes together. We're showing two scenarios, and I'll kind of get into that in a minute. We're going to focus on the left column first. So that's the full capital plan. So operation and maintenance disbursements of $528,000. You'll notice that's higher than what was on the previous page where we talked about operating disbursements. We're looking at 2028 operating disbursements when we look at on this page, because SRF requires you to have 125% coverage on your debt service 1 year after substantial completion on the project. So we have to set rates that provide sufficient funding for the debt in 2028. Your outstanding 2014 and 2021 bonds, you've got a payment of $313,000 annually, and then the proposed bonds of $224,000. Your debt service reserve funding, that is funded over a 5-year period. It's a safeguard for SRF in case you guys don't have the money to pay your bonds. You build that up over a 5-year period, and it can be drawn upon if you don't have the money to pay your loans. The sewer vac truck loan of $24,600, that'll be paid off in early 2027. So that once that's paid off, that amount can be built into your capital improvement allowance. So the allowance for capital replacements and coverage of $171,200, that is pulled from the capital improvement plan. Once your vac truck loan is paid off, you can increase that to $195 because you're no longer paying that loan. Does everything make sense to that point? Okay. So then we take out your interest income from last year. Your net annual revenue requirements, or the amount that you have to fund in expenses through your user rates, is $1,315,000 annually. Currently, you're collecting $833,000, leaving you with a $481,000 deficit, and that requires a 58% rate adjustment. So the column on the right is a reduced capital plan. So the goal with SRF all along was to keep your user rates below $100 a month. So a 4,000 gallon bill, which is an average residential household, we wanted to keep that below $100 a month. So they gave you a funding package to keep you below that. So what we've done in the reduced capital plan is reduce that average, or the allowance for capital replacements and coverage, down to $71,000. Because as you'll see at the bottom, the 125% debt service coverage is what we're targeting with that. Okay, so that gives you less money to spend on capital. So there's obviously some funding concerns there if the projects in the capital plan do come up in the next couple of years, but it keeps user rates down in the short term. So obviously there's opportunities to look for grant funding or using civil funds to pay for some of the sewer projects that are laid out in the capital plan, but it also keeps your user rates down. The rate increase needed under the reduced capital plan is 46%. So your current 4,000 gallon monthly bill is $64.66. Under the full capital plan, it would go to $102.16. Under the reduced capital plan, it would go to $94.40. So what we've done with the rate ordinance is we've prepared for introduction. Kyle prepared for introduction the rates under the full capital plan, just in case you guys ended up wanting to go that route. But what we can do is back those rates down for the public hearing in a couple weeks. So the rates will be advertised at the higher amount, but you can back them down for final public hearing and adoption. Comments, questions for me?
No.
Okay. The other option would be to meet somewhere in the middle on that. If you wanted to target a bill that was right at $100, you could choose to do that as well. But if you want to stick with that reduced capital plan figure and try to find funding options in the future, then that's definitely an option. We'll probably need that answer tonight because we have to have the public hearing and adoption at the next meeting, but something for you guys to think about.
I say let's do it right at 100 for now. So right there in the middle.
That's my thought.
Okay.
Okay, so meet in the middle, some
Yeah.
Mhm.
right at $100.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get you, Kyle, the rates to get you to the $100, and then pre-closing on the bonds is next Tuesday, which is just the formality from SRF's perspective to go through all the closing documents, and then closing is on June 17th. So on June 17th, the town will have access to the bond funds and can begin the project, and you'll also get your reimbursement for the $53,000.
Great.
Questions?
Anybody have questions?
No, just
A lot of numbers.
Yeah, a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
A lot of big numbers.
Well, that
How much
doesn't
was
go
the
the way you
increase
want.
of 30%?
No, no.
What was the total increase?
The total increase will be, if we go to $100, it'll be $33 and some odd cents.
Right here. Our current 64, 66.
Come out to like 52 or 53%, I think, something right in the middle.
Okay.
And we'll be back for the public hearing on I think it's the 9th, correct?
Yes.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Brady Dryer, Commonwealth.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
So tonight, as Tyler gave a preview, we have the engineering, the bid tab. We had a bid opening on May 15th. We had two bids, one from Atlas Excavating, one from Brackney. Atlas was the low responsive at $7,975,421. And Brackney was at $17,704,241. So we had a pretty big spread in those bids. And as another thing, and I know you've heard a lot of numbers, so I'll kind of slim those down. But the engineer's base bid estimate was $10,324,248. So the point is that the contractor and our base bid was beneath that, which we're hopeful that we've got some things like sewer cleaning, televising, and some other things that we would prioritize in conjunction with the wastewater utility department if things go as planned. So just really simply put, with as far as what we need tonight to keep things going is asking for approval for the base bid amount in the amount of $7,975,421 for Atlas Excavating. Before that, just nothing would be awarded to the contractor. This would just be basically, tentative at this point, and then that would occur for basically during the pre-closing and closing ceremonies with the finance authority. So. At which point, around the closing time, notice to proceed would be issued. And then we would basically hammer out our construction schedule. And we'd know more at that time what that looks like in the long haul. So.
Need a motion to.
Okay, now I'm trying to get my number, trying to
That's-
say how I'm
that's
going to
okay.
say it. Go ahead and motion the base bid for $7,975,421.
Correct.
Okay,
Atlas.
yes,
Good.
Atlas, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. I finally found it. I second.
All right, we have a motion made by Angie, seconded by Karen to approve the bid for Atlas Excavating in the sum of $7,975,421. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, the same? Motion carries.
Okay, I believe that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Brady.
you.
All right,
Thank
Jake,
you.
I'm sorry, Jake Roth, Fairmount Lions
There you
Club.
go, Jake.
My name is Daniel Jake Roth. I live at 514 Howard Court in Fairmount, Indiana. I'm here tonight representing the Fairmount Lions Club. As you have in front of you, I presented you with a concert schedule, poster, and also a car show. Here I am asking permission to have the car show, and I already got the posters made. So what can I say, you know?
I
A
think
little
we,
bit ahead of program, huh?
I think we did the permission earlier.
I think we might have got
I think-
permission, but I can't remember.
I'm
When you get
totally
my
with
age, you can't remember nothing, okay? But I'm asking the town board to allow us to have a car show. It's the same every year. It's, we're gonna block the streets off from First Street on North Main all the way down to
Jefferson.
Jefferson Street. Actually, they go all the way down to Madison Street, but we don't have permission down there. I haven't talked to any of the residents, so that's just those 2 blocks that we're 3 blocks that we're interested in. It's pre-1980, and we're giving away 100 dash plaques to the first 100 people there. The streets will be blocked off from 4 to 9 p.m. And then probably be out there by 7:45, and I'll be calling Ryan to tell him to bring everything up for the street department. Anyway, that's what I'd like to have. So I hope you guys will say yes.
Well, motion, go ahead and have the pre-James Dean car show, the date of 9/25 of this year. We'll close off from First Street to Jefferson, possibly on down to Madison, if it's okay with the citizens. And the time frame is 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
All right, motion made by Angie, second by Ken for the pre-James Dean run on September 25th, 2025, 4 to 9. All those in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, the same? Motion carries. Jake, you got your streets?
You know what? A week ago tomorrow, we're going to go back in time. And the reason I say a trip back in time is because it's back in my era in 1950s. We got the Bulldogs from Ohio will be here, put on a good 50s and 60s rock and roll band.
Yes, they do.
We got Rocks will be out there selling food, and the ice cream wagon will be there. So bring your lawn chair, your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, and come on out and enjoy yourself for an hour and a half. You get to go back in time. So
That's
Thank
June-
you.
That's on June,
Thanks, Jake.
June the 4th, right,
Bring
Jake?
whoever, right?
What time is that?
June 4th.
7 to 8:30, okay.
Thanks, Jake. Janelle?
Hi.
Hi, Janelle.
Hi, I'm here from Hands of Hope. I've been working with you guys on a project for your Quakers Park. I've got Tim Voss here from Voss Land Works. He's the one who did the design. I don't know if anybody wants to take a look. I can get one out here. I got a few. I don't know if I have enough for everyone, but I got a few. So what we've done so far is we did a survey of some of the residents to ask them what they would like to see in that location. Our goal for our grant is through the Delta Head is violence prevention. And one of the things that does that is green spacing and community connectedness. So we asked around, found out what everybody was looking for, and Tim did an amazing design based on those results. We had about 90 people take the survey, somewhere between 70 and 90. So we had a pretty good turnout on that. So it's kind of set up next to the stage in Quakers Park on the other side of it. Yeah, on the back side of it. Mhm.
East side.
No, north side.
North side.
Oh, okay.
We
Backwards.
originally
Was
had
thinking-
talked about the east
That's right.
side,
Right.
and I talked to Scotty about that, and that holds water. Probably just about as bad as the Circle Drive. So then, and he explained it to me, and I gave the wrong directions to you. So it's on the north end
That's right.
of the stage.
Right behind the stage.
Yep.
Okay.
So the main thing we really need today to kind of keep the ball rolling is one of the things the grant requires is understanding from the towns that we work with. We need a letter of intent that understands that we will help, we are going to invest to put all of this in through our grant, but we cannot maintain. So after it's put in, it's on the town to maintain. So the letter of intent just says that once we come to a finalized design and everybody's in agreement, that you will be willing to maintain this going forward.
All right. We got a motion for the letter of intent.
I'll make a motion that we letter of intent to maintain the park after it's done.
Second.
Motion made by Ken, second by Angie for the letter of intent for the Hands of Hope for the green space area located in the park.
So I just want to verify that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go
I
ahead.
thought you were done. So I want to verify nothing's going to be done in the middle where the
No.
Mercury's park at, right? Okay, all right.
No, the acorns and the low area of it, after
The-
talking with Scotty,
It
just,
holds water.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions about the design?
Is the design, is that 100% or is we still changing it?
There's room to do some
Oh, yeah.
changes. What's the timeframe you're looking to start the project again, Tim?
I know James Dean things in September, right, that
Mhm.
event.
Last full weekend.
Well, as we're building a park in Marion and we can always hop over, this is a 2 to 3 week job that we can do, so the idea is to get it done in July. It might be August, but if you guys have a preference, we can always meet that preference.
We'll have to definitely be before end of September.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is there's a maintenance plan that will be written up on how to maintain what we agree upon prior to, everything is usually low maintenance in our designs. We don't want to make anything difficult on them. So,
And I know the community wanted flowers or greenery and stuff like that, so we did want to put some in. I know Scotty loves this for that probably, but it's the main thing, but it's trying to be minimal there, with that idea. And then there's a concrete cornhole you can see over there.
Yeah, I seen those.
Kind of like little tournaments or whatnot, kids can enjoy it.
So is this the final plan or is this?
This is what I presented. If there's edits, I don't know.
it's up to you, it's up to
Well,
the
I mean, I didn't know if
community.
there's anybody had any other input.
We just saw this.
I mean-
Since
Yeah.
it's been moved,
And we
so-
don't have to have a final design tonight. I just need to guarantee that you're going to maintain whatever our final
Yeah.
design is.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but I
just
just want to
wanted
know
to
if you
know
had
if
any
before we-
questions about it other than that. But yeah, we could definitely still work on it back and forth if there's questions, but yeah.
I was, okay. I just
What's
wanna
your
say
final
this is
drop
it.
dead on it?
Yeah, probably next 2 weeks.
If we can finalize it in the next 2 weeks, we should be good.
Okay.
So that
So
sounds
if
good.
anybody's got any inputs or.
You guys can email me input. And Tim is on all the emails that I've sent to you guys, so.
Okay.
Stay in
Beautiful
contact.
park. I like
Yeah.
that space.
This is really gonna
Isn't
add
it?
to it too.
We got a beautiful, yes, we do.
Entrance and-
So we had a motion by Ken, second by Angie. All those in favor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Aye.
Anybody, anybody opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you all for your effort in this.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Where the stage is at,
Behind.
okay,
Behind it.
to the north, right to the north between that and Madison Street.
They can be real close to Madison Street. I mean,
No, it'll stay on this side of the walkway. So there'll still be that buffer between the walkway and Madison Street. I don't see Robert Beluki.
No.
Brady did it for Robert?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do we have anything else from citizens? Somebody, oh, yes, Madison Grant.
Yes.
Sorry.
I didn't see that.
I don't remember your name, sir. I'm sorry.
It is Kyron Gossett.
Okay.
I live over on 321 West 2nd. I'm here representing Madison Grant Athletic Department, asking for a sponsorship or donations of any kind, really. Look on the papers there. There's the black level and gold level sponsors. You get the 2 all sport passes for this 24-25 school year with the black level and advertisement in the gym. Then with the gold, you get all that, an additional sports pass, digital signage, which is on those TVs in the gym and the scoreboard, and recognition on the social medias, and sponsor banner in the outdoor athletic facilities, and also public announcements at home events. The pricing on that is the $500 for black level and $1,000 for gold. There's also additional project sponsors that I gave on that other paper. I just had one of those. I gave it to,
Me.
Oh,
I think Kelly has
That's-
it.
I have it.
yeah,
Kelly, there's just one there on that one.
yeah, it was just one. Basically, if you choose to do any of those, you'd get the town, a plaque on it. Do you want me to list those? Or,
Nah, Kelly's got them there.
all
That's
right.
how we have them.
Just looking for community support. The deadline for donations is July 25th.
I have a question. So the banner says outdoor. What about the indoor?
The indoor is, what do you mean?
It says sponsor banner at the outdoor athletic facility. So will it be only for football and then the inside is different for
The-
basketball?
Yeah, that's included. So the black level has that in it, and then all that is in the gold level as well.
So there's no sponsor plaque inside the basketball?
Yeah, it's up on
Court.
the wall.
Oh, so it's indoor and outdoor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Based on what package you go with, right?
Yeah.
Do we have the money to do the 1,000? I'll go ahead and motion to do the gold level sponsorship for Madison Grant Athletic Department for the gold level $1,000.
Have a second?
She's writing.
I'm writing,
All right, we
so
have
do two things at once.
Motion made by Angie, seconded by Karen to do the gold level sponsorship for the MG Athletics in the sum of $1,000. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, the same? Motion carries.
I want to thank you for
Yeah.
being one of the first few people actually come up and ask for this type of sponsorship. I usually get hit and miss, or we usually get hit and miss of, one sport here, one sport there, and this is going to add up for all year long. So, thank you.
And then if you have any more questions, there's TJ Herniak's
Oh.
email on there.
Mhm.
All right, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming up. Anybody else?
One more gentleman back here.
Okay. Who would come up and state your name and what we can do for you?
You can give me permission. Name's Eric Ashendorf, 119 North Walnut.
Okay, what can we do for you tonight, sir?
Okay, starting 23, or I should say August of 23, the chimney in our house imploded. Had insurance, they were supposed to be there, they walked. So we've been packing up everything from that house. I have a 32-foot trailer that I currently have parked out in front of the water department. What I'm asking for is permission to leave it there for roughly another month. I'll move it in and out once I get a new truck. Mine's very inadequate for safely moving that. It's mostly full. I still have a few things to get out of the house yet. Once we do that, I've already petitioned the Howard County veterans to let me park it there because they've got a much bigger facility and I can be in membership there as well.
So where's the park now?
It's in front of the water department down.
Oh, that was the one sitting out
wait,
there.
okay.
Plant.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
plant,
okay.
plant,
Okay, I didn't understand. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just asking permission to keep it there for at least another month,
Yeah.
revisit if
Okay.
we need to.
Is that going to be any problem with?
I've requested that he might come back in another month and update or ask for, or tell us what's going on with it. I
It's
mean,
okay with you though for now,
yeah.
for the next month?
Okay.
There's not going to be
Yeah.
no problem with, okay.
I
No,
don't
you're
think-
fine.
I don't think we need a
Bud's-
motion
yeah,
on
as
that
long
or
as-
anything.
yeah.
No, we're
Okay.
good.
As long as
As
Bud's
just
okay.
provide your phone number in case for some reason we need to get a hold of you.
Yes.
Something happens, we gotta move it or whatever, but yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving. Anybody else? All right. Go to the reports from committees, board and commissions. President's Row, I don't have anything to report tonight. And we'll go to streets and parks.
Good evening.
Hello.
Evening, Ryan.
Last week, before the kids got out of school, we had community day. We typically get 2 dumpsters. 2 dumpsters was almost not enough this year. Andrew Held with Main Street of Fairmount reached out to Kelly that day, trying to get another dumpster. And that was just, we couldn't. I was going to talk to Steve, see if he wanted to reach back out to Main Street of Fairmount to see if they'll provide a dumpster for next year. And we'll still get our 2. That way there's plenty of space.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was, I think, pretty successful. Had a lot of kids through town picking up the kids at the park. We put down 98 tons of mulch at the park and at the James Dean Memorial. And then there was more kids at the schools doing a lot of work there. I mean, they, for the 2 hours we get them, it's hard manual labor, that's for sure. So I might remind me, I might text him to see if he'll reach out, but that way we can get that on the books for next year. Took our nifty lift over to Sunbelt Rentals to get inspected for our annual inspection. Everything come back good. Guy said it still looks great. Taking a good job, taking good care of it at least. Did learn a few things on it, but other than that, normal. Dump truck, we got to Clark Truck last week, and then thank you for approving that purchase order. He said that should be 2 to 3 weeks to get everything installed and back to us. There was one thing I left out, Angie, but down at 300 North Barkley, we've been mowing, sent out 7 more letters last Monday. We've been working on 300 North Barkley. We've already got almost 30 hours in mowing it so far, and we probably still have another 8 to finish mowing, and then another month or so we'll have to be back down there. I don't know if it's the board's decision or if we need to go to area plan, Grant County Health Department or something. We get a good deal on these mowers just because when we turn it in, it's fairly low hours. If we have to mow the trailer park, I don't know if we'll get that good of a.
Right.
That's a lot of wear and tear on them.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially
Property,
you don't know
so
what you're going to be getting
uneven, and
into.
you don't know what you're going to come up against.
we already have, we already damaged the tire mowing down there. We were able to patch it, but should be replaced. I don't know future.
Can we hire it? Can we hire it?
That's a discussion that
Can we hire it?
we need to have.
Yeah, I think we're to the point, maybe file to send in legal letters, kind of a situation, if we can. I mean, it's, I believe that, yeah, I mean, it's, we've tried, we've tried
Have
to,
the discussion, what are you walking yourself
Yeah.
into?
we've tried to be nice about it and they're still uncooperative,
Have
so.
we had any contact with the owner at all?
No.
None at all?
And then the manager's supposed to be there on Wednesdays, property manager, because the old one, her name was Nikki. She is no longer over Fairmount. She just deals with Hartford and Northern trailer parks. The one that's supposed to be there, I haven't seen her all winter long.
Is anything happening at all down there?
No.
Nothing at all.
They haven't done anything since last year.
Oh, it looks worse.
It looks, I see
I mean,
one.
for
had
that
Just
one
the people
trailer
that
that's
live
in the
there are
front.
trying to
Yeah.
mow.
Yeah, I mean,
Some.
there are still residents there. That's why I feel so bad. I mean, they haven't mowed it all this year yet. I mean, we sent letters. Of course, that takes time. And then for us to get a break to go mow, I mean, it was already up to our hips. It's some tall grass already.
We get no response, period. From
No.
nobody.
I think the next course of action is maybe you, area plan, health department, have a meeting and let's come up with a plan and include Kyle.
I know Glancy's looking into that.
Well,
So I
we
talked to
he
him
needs
that
to do
one
more
night.
than looking.
Well, I mean, but
It's
they
bad.
just got their code.
Yeah, I know they got
person
no
stuff, so
enforcement.
everything else.
I don't-
But he talked about that with me last time after that one meeting that I talked to him about some
But
other
there's no
things.
reason people should have to live in.
I mean, do you condemn the whole thing and take it back over as a town or,
Oh,
That's a discussion that's gonna need
condemn
to be
it.
done because
Mhm.
Clean it up and sell it.
Yeah, we can only sell it for appraised value.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Mhm.
I mean,
We just have to look
I
at
mean,
what we would
it's just
have
not
in
right.
that.
It's
Yeah,
not right.
what the
Oh, I
total,
agree.
what the total cost would be and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it that we don't think about.
yeah.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
mean, how many lots are actually, how many people can live there? Does anybody know?
Isn't there 4?
I heard
Counting the
it
across, are you counting the property across the street?
51.
51.
There
I thought
could
there- I know there's over 40.
potentially be 51. I think there
Yeah.
might be.
Well, somebody said 4 to 6.
There's 6 or
Oh,
7.
okay, I thought somebody said 4 to 6 people were living there.
Yeah, there's not very
Families.
many.
Families,
it looks
yeah.
awful. I mean, it's just.
You're saying how many? You're saying that 12 if somebody lives there right now?
Trailers.
That are occupied.
Out
Oh,
of
okay.
51.
Last year did the count, and we find, or we tagged all the empty ones that are out of code and are in violation of the ordinance. If I remember right, it's at 12 or 14.
Okay.
12 is the right number. That was actually somebody lived in, and that's both blocks. That's also.
I was gonna say, was it both? Okay.
Okay. But area plan has to do the finding and the whatever we're looking for.
It's one of those.
I mean, we've talked about it for over a year. I think
Oh, yeah,
Mark
longer.
Dollar's
2
got
years. It's been at
estimates
least
of
2
what the
years.
cleanup will
Yeah.
be. It was
Yeah.
6 figures.
It was over 100 grand.
Mhm.
Well, let's do that. Let's set up something with Mr. Glancy.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be more than happy to go with you or whatever you want to do, us and the health
Okay.
department and them. And
Or even, I don't know if the housing authority could do anything for us.
I don't know.
I think the health department could do something about it too. I mean, there
I've
should be
walked
set
is
through
their
with
water
them.
leaks all fixed, bud? They're good on that.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
I've walked through with the health department guy,
Yeah.
They still
Has to
roll
do
it.
and
everybody?
it's not as easy,
Mhm.
just like each section of everybody
So
could
who
be able to
pays it?
combine
Where's
and
it
work
from?
together. It'd be
It's
great.
Arizona.
Arizona?
Mhm. That's where the owners are.
Let's do that. Meet with them and then maybe get area plan.
Health
Give us a little
department,
priority
whoever.
here on this. And
I'll
because like I said,
email-
we've been beating this horse for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll
It's-
call
it's
tomorrow
time.
and set up a time.
It's past time. to
Is there
set
any
it.
time?
I'm
you
available
can't?
whenever you want.
Okay.
I'm on the same schedule as you every day.
Wow. You are?
I could go too.
I think.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think-
that way
and
you
then
can get the
maybe
more the
details of
merrier.
what you're doing. Yeah.
We can even get Chief go.
go to or not, we need to.
I got the data from last time we got this started. and there's still that data there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get something set up with that.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Ryan.
You're welcome. Then down at the park, we had 2 different incidents of vandalism. Both were caught on our video surveillance, so good money well spent on that. I mean, fines implemented and some kids trespassed for a little bit.
Okay.
And then,
Juveniles? Was it
what-
juveniles?
yeah. And then upcoming events, Jake already talked about the concert, and then we also do have a car show June 7th that starts at 4. And they usually have vendors up there as well.
I want to see after.
Okay.
real quick, just quick.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Appreciate
Ryan. Thanks.
it. Chief Dollar.
Good evening.
Evening.
Just a few things here. Carry off the kids. We're having them. We appreciate them. They cleaned out our police garage, swept it out, took some trash cans that were abandoned out here. That people, I don't know who filled them up. They were terrible, and I thank them for helping dump those. That was probably more than what we should have asked of them. It was pretty bad. They also did the fire barn. We took all the trucks out and they cleaned the floor in the fire barn and squeegeed the floor. So it was a good deal. Appreciate their help every year. We get a pretty good group that comes up here. So I'd like to thank the school for bringing them up. Thursday, we're going to do vest fittings. So we'll be doing a purchase order probably next meeting. We have to do that every 5 years. We have to replace our vests. So we're due this year.
Guys losing a lot of weight.
No, I don't know. Depends who you, some of them probably. But some we have to do. They expire every 5 years. So that'll be coming up probably as a PO next board meeting. They're going to be pouring concrete for the K9. He's at home. He's been up here a few times and he's working on obedience. And again, he's still on track to start in July as far as getting the certification, getting that taken care of. We got firearms coming up in June. That's our annual certification we have to do. So we got that going. And then I am meeting with Steve Wright tomorrow at 1 to do an interview with Radio Classics. It's something on YouTube. It seems he reached out asking if we would sit and do an interview. It takes about 30 minutes, he said. So we'll be doing that. You can get on YouTube and find it, or on his Facebook. I don't know what he's going to ask me, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, boy.
And that's all I got, unless you guys got anything for me.
Nope.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Don.
Chief Jump.
Don't have much. We're at 232 runs for the year. We're averaging about 1.2 to 1.4 runs a day. I'd like to congratulate Devin Bounds for completing Fire 1 and 2. He got through his testing. Then we have two guys, young men interested in becoming firemen. They both passed their background check, and they're putting in their time to become new members. That's all I
That
got.
sounds good.
Besides fire calls, we
New people.
don't have much going on right now. You guys got anything else?
That's good.
Nope. Thanks.
Thanks, Clint. Bud, water and wastewater.
232.
Bud Shelton, water, wastewater. Just a big project coming up, and I know Commonwealth's worked really hard on that. And I just want to say that the rate hikes seem high, but in this regard, it's probably the most economical way we could have tackled our problem. To go ahead and do separation throughout the whole town, it's hard to tell how much more money it would have been, and it'd have been a lot more years. So I just want to say, in my opinion, this is the most effective and economic way we could have went. And I really appreciate participation of Baker Tilly with the SRF to get us the $2 million as a grant, and then to give us a 0% interest rate, which is just, if you figure up just the smallest amount of percent, it's a big savings. So with that said, I'll move on. Tomorrow we start the roof on the water plant over here. They'll start that construction. If not tomorrow because of rain, maybe the next day. We're still working on our lead service line inventory or identifications. We've had some struggles with some road cuts on Washington Street. I think anybody's went that way has been spilt their coffee over it. So I'm going to call Don Scott in and have him do some road cuts down Factory Street and get the two that I thought were rough on Washington Street coming in from the east. We're starting interviews now, and we'll probably interview for the next week or two. Just want to take our time and look to see what we got. I think we got 5 or 6 guys we're thinking about pulling in. That's about all I have. Any questions or?
No, appreciate it, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
No.
Is that just on the sewer or is on sewer and water both?
Sewer.
All right, we got anything on ability maintenance?
We do not.
All right. You want to say the next one? Financial report, clerk treasurer?
Actually, I will pass this over to Kyle Persinger.
Okay.
For a financial report. The only thing that I will say is that our audit is complete. We did have our exit conference today, and as soon as they release their report, we'll make sure that the council has a copy of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just you guys have seen the bond ordinance that you previously adopted. You need to amend the new bond ordinance on the sewage works project in order to move the project forward. We have to, adopt the ordinance and suspend the rules and pass it on second, third reading if you're so inclined. So if you are, the first thing we would need would be a motion and a second on the first reading of the ordinance.
And that's ordinance number 5-2025.
Okay, there we go.
I got an ordinance 4-25.
That's four.
Oh, okay, they're not labeled on ours.
No, they're
That's this
not.
one.
That's this one. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not. Oh, what is it?
5-25. 2025. So we move forward, suspend the rules.
Well, the first thing you need to do would be to motion to adopt it on first reading and a second. We need that first.
All right.
A motion to go ahead and adopt on ordinance number 5-2025.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made by Angie, second by Karen to adopt bond 5-2025. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, the same?
You need to do a roll call on
Oh,
that.
yeah, I'm sorry. Roll call.
Armstrong,
Yes.
and Karen Pullen,
Yes.
Ken Pullen,
Yes.
Treon.
Yes.
The motion passes. Now you need to have a motion to suspend the rules and consider the ordinance for adoption. Need a second on that.
Motion, go ahead and suspend, is that right? Suspend the orders?
The rules.
Suspend the rules.
Oh, yeah, rules.
And if
Have a second.
Oh, I'll second. That was.
All right, we have a motion to suspend the rules made by Angie, seconded by Ken. Roll call.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Karen Pullen,
Yes.
Ken Pullen,
Yes.
Treon.
Yes.
then we need a motion to adopt the ordinance on final reading.
I'll make a motion. We accept the ordinance on the final reading.
I second it.
All right. We have a motion made by Ken, seconded by Angie for go on to final reading. Roll call.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Karen Pullen,
Yes.
Ken Pullen,
Yes.
Treon.
Yes.
Motion's adopted. They'll just need your signature and Kelly will forward it on to.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
What's the next one?
I do have one other, and this one's information only at this point. We did have a TIF board meeting this afternoon, and it essentially is saying that, yes, we want to revisit our resolution to capture TIF funds for 2026. That was signed this afternoon, and it is Resolution 3-2025.
Need a motion to adopt that, or is it good?
You read that? The TIF board already did.
They've already done that.
All right. Anything else, Kelly?
I do not.
Thank goodness.
Oh, we do have a public hearing on June the 9th. And that will be for ordinance 4-2025, and that's the establishing of the rates. And for ordinance 5-2025 for the restated bond ordinance. Those will be in publication tomorrow in the Chronicle.
That's on June 9th.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Karen, do you have anything from area plan?
No. Nothing. Next.
It'll be next month.
Next Monday? Committees
June
out.
2nd. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. We're adjourned.
We didn't do old business.
Yeah.
Just saying. We're done. I see dollar signs in my head.
Yeah, I've seen
Them
millions
numbers.